All right, 10 minutes left. Big 12 conference preview time. The last year, Oklahoma and Texas are in the Big 12, so this year's 14 teams with the addition of UCF, BYU, Houston, and Cincinnati. Next year it goes back to 12 with Oklahoma and Texas going to the SEC. But let's start off. I am guessing you have the same conference champion prediction that I do. Go for it.
I have Texas.
I have the Longhorns as well.
Quinn Ewers is there. They obviously lost a lot in Bijan Robinson, but Quinn Ewers is one of the top probably 10 guys for the Heisman right now. They have Arch Manning as well. I wonder how much he'll be able to play. He might only do the four game thing and then redshirt.
Their QB room's stacked. All four of them stacked. They lost Hudson Card, who transferred to Purdue. But big year for Steve Sarkisian, though, because I think they have to produce this year.
Yeah, if they don't, I mean, they get restless there.
Yeah. Pretty obvious. An interesting name to keep an eye on. You talked about Bijan Robinson losing him in the first round of the Falcons. They have 3 or 4 running backs who will probably see action. Watch for C.J. Baxter. He was the number 1 rated running back in the country last year in high school. So watch for him.
Yeah.
Watch for him. Let's see here. Number 2.
I have Kansas State.
I do too.
Quarterback Will Howard returns. They got transfer running back from Florida State, Treshaun Ward. They were good last year, and their head coach, who was I believe he was at North Dakota State, Kleinman, is that his name?
Yep,
Kleinman. I think he's going to turn them into a really good program again.
Yeah, Will Howard looks like it's going to be their quarterback. Adrian Martinez was last year. He's finally out of college football.
Yeah, Will Howard actually ended up playing more than Adrian Martinez because
towards the end of the year, five games, so he's got some experience. They lost Deuce Vaughn and another pass rusher in the first round. People forget they won the Big 12 championship game last year over TCU.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Number 3.
I have Oklahoma.
I do as well.
It was their first season under 500 since 1998. Venables there. He's if they go under 500 again, I wouldn't be surprised if he's 2-0.
Oh, it wouldn't shock me at all.
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel's back. He threw 25 touchdowns last year. Should be able to put up some points. And you would assume Venables would have a really good defense, although they were not good last year.
They gave up 30 points per game last year, including a 49-0 loss in the Red River shootout against Texas. Defense has got to be better. They got to figure out who's going to be their offensive production. They lost Marvin Mims to the NFL. Javante Barnes and Gavin Stuchuk are their 2 running backs. We'll see action. So, Number 4 for you.
I have Texas Christian.
I think we're just copying each other at this point.
They lost a lot on offense, but they got a lot back on defense. I'm not sure who the projected quarterback is, but
Chandler Morris.
They should be fairly solid.
Yep, Sonny Dykes, unbelievable job there, national runner-up. Yeah. Max Duggan gone. Chandler Morris is going to be their quarterback, but they did lose their top 2 leading rushers, 3 wide receivers, and some starting linemen, so a lot to replace on offense. But their defense should be really good, led by Johnny Hodges and Josh Newton, linebacker and cornerback. Number 5.
Oklahoma State.
We finally differ. I have Texas Tech.
Yeah, they went 7-6 last year. Transfer from Michigan, Alan Bowman, who's been around for a while now. Quarterback.
Yeah, he was formerly at Michigan and Texas Tech. Gundy has not had a losing season at Oklahoma State since he took over in 2005. They do have a rough schedule, they have an easy schedule. I have on my notes, but defense is a big question mark. They lost a lot on defense. Yeah. And I have Oklahoma State I have them at 9, actually. Oh, wow. 5th for me, I have Texas Tech. They're always going to put up points. Jerry McGuines is their coach. They went 8-5 last year. They have 14 starters back. Tyler Shucks, their quarterback. Their defense returned 6 starters. They led the Big 12 in sacks last year. And they were 9th in red zone defense in the country. So if they can replicate that with what they do on offense, they should be right in the mix again.
Yeah, I have Texas Tech 6th, so I'm not too far off. A lot of their starting offense returned. So
I have UCF, a brand new one in the conference. Gus Malzahn pretty good coach there. John Ray's Plumlee's their quarterback. He's been there a couple of years. They do have a new defensive coordinator in Addison Williams, as Travis Williams left for Arkansas. They do have a tough schedule on the road, though. They're at Boise State in a non-con, at Kansas State, Oklahoma, and Texas Tech within the conference. But if they can get 2 of those, they could be right in the mix.
I have UCF 9. John Reese Plumlee, as you said, saw a cool video with him back in the spring. He's on UCF's baseball team. He's one of their better baseball players. Played a baseball game, left about mid-game to go play in the spring game, and threw a few touchdowns. So
That's
that
pretty cool.
was pretty cool.
So
I have them 9th. I have Baylor 7th.
I do as well.
They went 6-7 last year. They got a lot back on offense, and they'll always be able to score some points.
Yeah, they have a quarterback competition going on between Blake Shappen and Sawyer Robertson, who transferred from Mississippi State. Their defense allowed 26.8 points per game this year, so they could not replicate 2021. Got a brand new defensive coordinator, actually, Matt Polidge, and they only returned 1 starter in the secondary, though. That could be a good thing with their defense not being as good last year. I don't know. Time will tell. Time will tell.
I have Kansas 8th.
I do as well.
Jalen Daniels, preseason Big Ten Player of the Year. Great Friday night matchup between 2 usually terrible programs. And Illinois plays at Kansas. I think week 2 or week 3, something like that. Of course, when they scheduled the game, like, oh, that's an easy win. And now, of course, that Kansas is halfway decent. That's typical Illinois luck.
Lance Leipold, 6-7 year last year after going 2-10 the previous year. Got a big contract extension. They returned more offensive production than any team in the FBS. 10 offense starters back, and the 1 starter that they lost was a offensive lineman. They got Logan Brown, offensive tackle, transfer from Wisconsin, former 5-star. So that'll do.
Dang, yeah. As I said, I have UCF 9.
I have Oklahoma State.
I have Iowa State 10.
I do as well.
Much like David Shaw, Matt Campbell should have left when he had the chance, because I don't think they'll be very good.
4-8 last year. They have who is their quarterback is Hunter Deckers. His first losing season last year since 2016. Defense should be good, very experienced. New offense coordinator Nathan Shieldhouse.
Yeah.
And he's replacing Tom Manning. And they need to limit turnovers. They had 23 turnovers last year.
Dang.
Yeah.
I have BYU 11th.
I do too.
I haven't even wrote any notes down for these final 4 teams.
Kalani Sitake, I think is how you pronounce their coach's name. Kendon Slovis is their quarterback, former Pitt and USC quarterback. New defensive coordinator Jay Hill. And they do have a good transfer running back from Louisville, Aiden Robbins, to keep an eye on.
I have Houston 12th.
I do as well.
Dana Holgerson against West Virginia. If they play, I don't even know if they play this year. Could be interesting.
It went 8-5 last year after a 12-2 year the previous, so kind of a letdown. Texas Tech transfer quarterback Devin Smith or sophomore Lucas Coley will be their quarterback. Defense gave up 32.2 points per game, which is 112th nationally. Projected running back, starting running back transferred in the spring to Colorado, so they're not sure who the running back's going to be. A lot of questions to be answered there down in Houston.
I have Cincinnati 13th.
I have West Virginia, and then I have Cincinnati last.
I have West Virginia 14th. I'm not even going to talk about West Virginia. Cincinnati, obviously losing their entire coaching staff and recruits and stuff. It'll be a transition year for them.
Their defense should be good, but Scott Satterfield's got a bunch of new faces on offense. Arizona State transfer quarterbacks Amore Jones. And then West Virginia, I think Neil Brown has to produce this year or he's going to lose his job. 5-7 last year. He's 14-21 in Big Ten play. Their quarterback's either going to be Garrett Green or
Big 10 play.
Big 12 play. Garrett Green looks like he's going to be their quarterback. They returned all their offensive line and 3 running backs, so that should help. But their defense gave up 32.9 points per game, including 262.7 pass yards per game. Not good there in Morgantown.